How are we doing? Welcome back, everybody. Much love to everybody who subscribed recently and liked all the videos. Alright, growing very quickly. Got around 400 subscribers as well as almost 200 members in the Discord. Alright, much love. Alright, I always put, the links in the description if you ever want to join the community or follow my Twitter or anything like that. But today, we're going over a simple DOL checklist, draw on liquidity. Alright. Gonna get straight into it. Obviously, there's a lot of things on here, and you see some people, say, "Oh, don't get analysis paralysis, this and that, this and that." Um, but for me, right, as I've grown as a trader and right, I've just grown more chart time and right, just have the hours of the amount of time that I'm on the chart just go up, and right, the amount of times that I've reinforced all of these things, I've never, been obviously if I'm sitting at a point where I'm like, oh, it can go up or it can go down, right? We're sitting in the middle of a range. I'm gonna wait. But if we, sweep a range into a PDA, I mean, unless like how on NQ we just sliced through everything, right? We had an SMT with CPI, the highs, and just sliced through everything, and that was a time where right, we've had a lot of news as well in the market, and right, it was just the time for right, we swept the range high, right, just killed and just sliced through the range low. Right, we've already had a mitigated fair value gap, so we just continued lower. Alright, but getting into the checklist itself, we're gonna always check in with our weekly profile, our weekly cycle as well, and try and obviously predict our lower time frame cycle, right? If we have a XXMD weekly profile, or excuse me, weekly cycle, a higher probability low time frame cycle would be XXMD as well. We always want to look at our midnight open, right? Previous day close, was it higher, lower, or an inside candle? Where was our wick? Okay, are we aiming for internal or external liquidity? Do we have low resistance or high resistance liquidity runs above or below? Do we have equal highs and lows above or below? Right, what is the market profile and market structure that we have? Is it bullish or bearish? Right, our order flow as well, our open, high, low close of every candle, our open, low, high close of every candle, right, 1 hour, 4 hour, daily, weekly, monthly. Also looking at the power of 3, right, as well as our failed PD arrays. Do we have any high time frame SMT divergences? Do we have any true market maker models? Whatever chart you're looking at, do you have a SMT with DXY, or right, just are we correlated with DXI? Are we not correlated? Is DXY in an obvious gap, right, in an obvious liquidity pool, and right, we're kind of floating within a range, right, as well as our Forex Factory news calendar. It's always specific with what time of day we're trading, right, whether it be Asia, London, New York, trying to catch the day's range, or maybe just scalping. Always looking for a false breakout of the range, as well as our higher time frame and lower time frame where we are within the range, EQ, OTE, for example. All right, high time frame key levels and manipulation times are required for your best high time frame high probability turtle soups. Failed PD arrays and opposing high time frame PD arrays create high resistance and low resistance create high resistance liquidity runs and stop low resistant liquidity runs. Price will always seek to fill these imbalances and fill inefficiencies, then take out highs and lows. However, price does not always need to follow order flow. Price might want to accelerate to liquidity levels due to time. And why did I say that? As you heard in the beginning of the video, and with how our charts are looking with NQ, we accelerated due to time, right? We have created a range, and then as well as in our lower time frame range, we SMT'd, and as well as our monthly candle, right, was above the opening price. We're going to get into the charts, kind of just go over, right, a quick DOL checklist on the 4-hour time frame, kind of just go over where we'd be looking, why I would be looking there, right? And I'm not going to go over everything, right, but I'm just making the checklist so that you can have it, understand what you need to look for, and not overlook or not look too deep into every single little thing, but make it flow and make it sound good, and right, make everything have a condition and a narrative and piece, put your pieces of the puzzle together to make your market choices make sense, and where you think the market's going to go makes sense. All right, so here we have the Euro chart, 4-hour. We can see that we've swept these highs, reacted, right? Maybe had an SMT at this high, reacted, and then draw lower. We come in, sweep this low, right, into our PDA, wick up, right, and still close within our range. All right, you see the candle closures, right, just with long wicks. So now, right, we have generation of interest on both sides. We have generation on the buy side and the sell side. Right, we still have this fair value gap resting below. All right, as well as, right, this fair value gap. And a breaker. So what do? We wait for the sweep of one side of the range, right? Not the best, sweep. We want to see a little bit more vigor, but maybe on that lower time frame we had a break, right, with a market structure shift higher. And then our 4-hour open, high, low, closes. Right, we wick up. And now after this high is created, coming to 50% of the range, we should see us drop lower to the bottom end of the range. Chop within the range still, right? We break lower, and then continue to run the lower side of the range. We saw how we swept this internal liquidity, right? The internal buy side, and then ran to the external sell side. We marked our open, high, low, close of the 4-hour candle, right? As well as sweeping a previous week's liquidity. Let's see if it was not the previous week's high, but right, this previous week's Friday into a FEG, a higher time frame FEG for the low time frame turtle soup. We also have a market maker model, right? Accumulation, smart money reversal, accumulation, accumulation, right? Sweep the accumulation high to the low. Okay, see what happens. We start to generate another range. We see us come to the high of the range, come to the low. We then sweep the low, react higher, right? So now, what do you think should happen? Swept range low. We've now swept range high. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. But accumulation, manipulation, distribution lower on the daily. All right, so we have this fake market structure shift upwards into our breaker order block, FEG as well. Daily fair value gap, high time frame high time frame fair value gap into a lower time frame turtle soup. See our 4-hour candle, open, high, low, close. We do have a high resistance liquidity run with this low, but in the higher time frame, it's low resistance because it's also a wick, right? We have these two lows, right? So we sweep this internal liquidity, this internal buy side, right? Generating more interest to the buy side up here, right? With lower, not now, but you'll see later how this turns into low resistance liquidity, right? And the accumulation, original accumulation low. Come to 50% of the range, come back to the order block, and react lower. Excuse me. All right. We're not getting into time of day exactly, right? But we're seeing how the Wednesday high of week, right? Then we smash the low, right? Friday low of week. Excuse me, I'm feeling a bit under the weather, but I'm gonna continue. Right, we see kind of just continue. Sweep this high, right? Continue, right? Making high resistance liquidity runs, right? In these wicks, wicking higher, then running lower. We then have a big move higher, right? And you see we've already reacted to this order block here. Swept this range high, and then continue lowered. So with this market structure shift, we would like to see this previous day high taken out. Let's see. It'll either be a Thursday, I want to see this sweep, right, for the Thursday high. But Friday high, okay. Okay, so that's perfect. See us sweep the range high. Why do I want these highs? Right, they're pretty relative, right, as well as the long wicks. Filled, sweep, right, maybe have an SMT at this high as well into the order block. And then we should smash lower and break through this low to finish the market maker model. So we have these equal lows now, Monday, Tuesday, and see this might leave this behind, but it's gonna come back for later. Right, we're gonna have the kiss of death. Right, we have these equal highs. Right, fair value gap resting here, as well as breaker. And there you go. Right, we use the equal highs and the FEG. Right, market maker model. Right, internal, external, internal, external, internal, external, internal, external, internal, external. Right, Do I even need to say it? 4 hour open, high, into our PD array, low, close, right? This candle as well, open to the order block, low, close, order block, rejection block, whatever. You can now see that we've swept the low, right? And we could probably look for longs, right? But I'm not going to make this a super long video because it's just a DOL checklist, right? Using these equal highs, internal, external, right? We didn't get, right, we're only looking at one chart, so we're not going to have much of SMT, we're not going to have an obvious SMT divergence, right? We looked to see if we have a false breakout of the range, right? This low, right? You didn't want to see run lower because we didn't displace through any of these highs, right? We displace, right? Open, high, low, close of the 4 hour, come back into the order block, stop above the high, boom, right? Form two relative equal highs, long wicks, stop run, boom, right? Form two equal lows, accumulate, right? Low time frame manipulation, distribution with the accumulation, manipulation up, distribution lower. Internal, external, right? We took a look at what time of the day it was as well as our weekly profiles, and just used our brain with simple ICT DOL checklist. Right, and quick run over for the notes one more time. Weekly profile, weekly cycle, midnight open, and right, right, if you need help with any one specific thing, you can always join the Discord and ask, but right, going over all of these to make the checklist for you, right, I could be here for an hour, right, just making this one video, and I know you're going to want as much information in a quick amount of time as possible, just because, you have a low attention span and can't sit through an hour-long video, but, right, I got you. Simple, quick, easy, right, not a daily bias, but just a simple draw and liquidity checklist. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this one, maybe learned something, right? Maybe can keep this on the side and, just write down and use during the day. Alright, I hope you enjoyed, and, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and, just keep grinding, keep working. If you're not profitable yet, right, you're almost there, bro. Just keep going, right? I'm profitable, but I'm still not even where I want to be, right? You're always going to want to keep trying to get higher, step a stone higher, right, and reach that next level until, I don't even know until what, right, because I don't even have really an end goal. I just want to be the best that I can, and I have small goals, right, but I don't know, I'm ambitious, but I don't know. Obviously, I want to be Larry Williams. I've said that plenty of times, but right, I want to be one of the best traders, right? And with that being said, money wouldn't be an issue. Obviously, that's a key part of it, but I don't want to do it just for the money. But I really do like trading, and I don't know. A little yap session here at the end, but I hope y'all enjoyed. Y'all take it easy.